Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about the Antarctic Treaty System (ATS). And in this session, we'll first discuss who regulates tourism in Antarctica, and then we'll discuss in briefly about regulating tourism in Antarctica, and then we'll discuss about the changes occurring in Antarctica, and finally we'll discuss about India and its relationship with Antarctica and. Not related but very relevant. It was recently in the news, the Doomsday Glacier. We'll discuss that also. So this is how I plan this session. Let's now start. So friends, Antarctica is a very important geographical location, and if you see who regulates tourism in Antarctica, all human activities on the continent are regulated by the Antarctic Treaty, which was signed in 1960, and the treaty entered into force in 1961 and currently has 54 parties, and India became a member of this treaty in 1983. And for this purpose of treaty system, Antarctica is defined as all of land and ice shelves south of 60 degrees south latitude, and the treaty set aside Antarctica as a scientific preserve, establishes freedom of scientific investigation and bans military activity on the continent. And the treaty was first arms control agreement established during the Cold War, and since 2004 the Antarctic Treaty Secretariat headquarters has been located in Argentina, Buenos Aires. So that is about the Treaty of Antarctica. Now we will discuss more points about regulating tourism in Antarctica. So tourism in Antarctica started around the 1950s, starting out with a few hundred visitors annually, over 38,000 per year in 2015 and 16. And working within the mechanism of this treaty is the International Association of Antarctica Tour Operators, a body which founded in 1991 by 7 tour operators to promote safe and environmentally responsible travel in Antarctica. And while this International Association of Antarctica Tour Operators maintains that the tourism conducted under its banner had virtually no environmental impact on the region, this organization rules and guidelines are not mandatory or binding. So that is regarding the regulating tourism in Antarctica. Now we discuss how has Antarctica been changing. Recently, a report on oceans released by IPCC said that between 2006 and 2015, the Antarctic ice sheet lost about 155 billion tons of mass on average every year. This ice melt from Antarctica likely contributed to sea level rises. The main sources of environmental damage to continent include planet-wide impacts such as global warming, ozone layer depletion, impacts of fishing and hunting, that is whales and seals, and also the impact of visitors, which includes scientists and tourists. So that is regarding the changes of Antarctica. Now we will discuss in detail about India and its missions in Antarctica. So friends, as we all know, about 98% of Antarctica is covered by ice that averages 1.9 kilometer in thickness, which extends to all about northernmost reaches of the Antarctic Peninsula. And the Indian Antarctic program is multidisciplinary, multi-institutional program under the control of National Center for Antarctic and Ocean Research, which is under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. And under this program, atmospheric, biological, earth, chemical and medical sciences are studied by India, which has carried out 35 scientific expeditions to Antarctica till now. And there are different research stations we have in Antarctica. The first one is Dakshin Gangotri, where it was the first scientific Indian scientific research base station established in Antarctica, and it is located at a distance of 2,500 kilometers from the South Pole. And it was established during the third Indian expedition to Antarctica in 1983-84. And then we have the Maitri program, that is it is a second permanent research station in Antarctica. It was built and finished in 1989, and Maitri is located on rocky mountainous region called Shirmashar Oasis, and India also built a freshwater lake around the Maitri, known as Lake Priyadarshini. It's an important fact. And then we have the Bharati program, that is India's latest research station operation since 2012. It has been constructed to help researchers work in safety despite the harsh weather, and it is India's first committed research facility and is located about 3000 kilometers east of Maitri. And Bharati made India an allied member of Club of Nine Nations that have multiple stations in the region. And we have other facilities, that is Sagar Nidhi, and that is in 2008 India commissioned the Sagar Nidhi, the pride of National Institute of Ocean Technology for research. An ice class vessel, it can cut through the thin ice of 40 centimeter depth and is the first Indian vessel to navigate Antarctic waters. And also researchers from the Sweden's University of Gothenburg have been able to obtain data from underneath Thwaites Glacier, which is also known as Doomsday Glacier. So we'll discuss now what is the Doomsday Glacier. So friends, Doomsday Glacier, which always comes in news, it is also called as Thwaites Glacier. It is 120-kilometer wide at its broadest, fast moving and melting fast over the years. Because of its size, it contains enough water to raise the world's sea level by more than half a meter. It is 1.9 lakh square kilometer its size is, and studies have found a amount of ice flowing out of it has nearly doubled over the past 30 years. And today Thwaites melting already contributes 4% of global sea level rise each year, and it is estimated that it would collapse into seas in 200 to 900 years. Thwaites is important for Antarctica as it slows the ice behind it from freely falling into ocean, and because of the risk it faces and poses, Thwaites are often called the Doomsday Glacier. Doomsday meaning warning or threat, something that can cause destruction. So this is also an important fact, and that's all about this particular topic, guys. It's a very important topic with regard to your prelims as well as mains, so please study about this in detail. Thank you for watching this lesson.